Kreature Korner.
What is ghouling on, my funky fiends? Well, that ran so much smoother than it normally does. Let's see how. Holy crap. I don't want to jinx it. What's going on, Sarah Rose? I do not want to jinx it. But it seems like we have successfully started a stream with zero technical difficulties. It's not laggy too bad. It's not choppy in sound, and there's not some weird hum in the background. We've done it, people. We've fucking done it. Whoo! So, in all of this excitement, let's get started. Let's just get into it before anything goes wrong. Who else hopped in here? Hello, Matt. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Jeanette. Miss Helena, housewife. Great to see you here on the stream. If you haven't watched our latest review from Arrow Player, definitely check out our review of Hotel Poseidon, because good lord, I have no idea still to this day what that film was about, but maybe someday I'll understand it. I doubt it. But you can check that out over on the Horrifying Creatures YouTube channel, so be sure you go and check that out. Tonight, we are going to be talking about a movie that I recently just so happened to watch. Nobody sent it to me or anything like that. I just stumbled upon it on Tubi, and it is called Haul. We'll get into that in just a moment, because, as always, before we get into the creepy, we got to get into the coffee. So tonight's coffee, brought to us, as always, by Pedal Jockey, is the delicious, probably maybe more of a summertime blend for some people, but I enjoy it year-round, is the Miss American Pie. Talking about some apple pie flavor coffee, I'll take it all day. Smell like a fresh slice of apple pie, smell like a fresh slice of America. I need an eagle sound effect where they and American flags to shoot out from behind me when I give a thumbs up and say America. Send me money and I'll up my budget. I'll up my production. Send me money and I'll up my budget. Obviously. Oh, my production budget. Okay. So, before we get too far into reviewing this film, I'm going to try to show you guys the trailer. So, let's blip over here to our... Oh, thank you, Michelle Pickler, for liking. Also... Boy, I got to quit just dropping my phone down there. Also, we will be announcing our giveaway winner here live on the stream at the end of the stream. If you are tuning in live and your name is drawn, I'll throw in some extra goodies because I really appreciate you actually tuning in to see if you won. Hey, David Cunningham out here watching from a rooftop bar in Orlando. Why don't you rub it in a little bit more, David Cunningham, that you're just in this awesome place in Orlando. Probably going to go to Harry Potter World tomorrow and have a butterbeer. I'm not jealous at all. No, I'm super happy for you. I hope you all have a wonderful vacation, because when you get back, it's time to work. I'm putting you to work, and we're going to work nonstop. So enjoy that vacation, David. Anyway, which does remind me, yes, I'm going to be talking about some events that I have coming up, like the one this Saturday for Knoxville's horror hosts coming together. I'm going to Mizzou in March, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. But first, let's talk about this movie. We're going to blip over here to the share screen, and we're going to check this movie trailer out together. Maybe, possibly. Let's see how it works.
Why are there so many cars outside?
Well, it's a big hotel, and I think there's a gala happening to help with doctors and hospitals with everyone getting sick.
I'm so distracted by my anger. The last thing I want is for Kelly to see us like this. I know I've got things to work on, and it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to her. I want us to try to be a family together. It started.
This fucking guy. Don't be. Okay. My sincerest apologies for the terrible sound quality there. Of course, we had to have just a little bit of a hiccup, but that's okay. My sincerest apologies. So, David, I would not be too interested in this movie. I would not get. I wouldn't waste your time. I wouldn't dare waste any more of my time. So, before we get into it too much, spoiler alert, the official one. Here it is, right there in your face. I'm about to talk about this movie heavily in depth and save you an hour and a half of your life. Spoiler alert. Okay, so I read the premise of this movie and it was pretty original. I was like, okay, sounds like kind of original plot. Independent director. I was like, cool, I'm all about indie filmmakers. And the visuals in it, here's what I'm going to preface this with. The production team, the people that filmed this, the people that edited this and color graded it and did the sound and the practical effects and all of that did a phenomenal job. All of those people deserve pats on the back because without them, this movie would have been absolute trash. So, thankfully to this director and writer, they were there for him because whoever wrote and directed this film, in my humble opinion, started at a pretty high point and very quickly ran it straight into the ground. Now you ask yourself, how interesting could a horror movie about a hallway really be? And to me, I say, hey, with the right person behind the reins, that could have been a very interesting plot and it could have gone a really long way. But, okay, so, start at the beginning. The way the movie starts out, it is a family driving. The lady you saw there in the trailer and her daughter and husband are driving down the road to a hotel. And the lady walks out in front of them. By accident, they almost hit her, and she gets out and has a few words with her. They have like a moment. They're like, oh, we're friends now. Which was the other lady you saw in the trailer who was on the ground with the phone writhing in pain. So they check into this hotel. Mom and dad have there's some tension, a little bit of tension between mom and dad, and they go into the hotel and find out the lady they almost hit is also staying at the hotel on the same floor as them. How nice. So mom and her, let's see, I think her name is Val, and Naomi is the other woman's name. The woman on the phone that was writhing in pain in the trailer, that is Naomi, and the other woman that is kind of the main character is Val. So they have a moment because Naomi is pregnant out in the hallway. They're talking like, oh, when are you due? And you find out that the dad isn't around. He's a bad man. So Naomi's also fleeing from a very troubling situation. And, Val's still kind of obviously stuck in one. So they have this little interaction for about 10 minutes or so till dad walks in, and then it's time to go to the room. There's some subtle hints of like how he's very manipulative and narcissistic and controlling over her, telling like he tells the daughter that mommy doesn't want to go swimming, but don't worry, daddy will take you. And then he's like laying there pretending to be asleep, but he's really listening to him. I don't know. It's a whole. I feel bad for this woman because she is obviously in a very bad relationship, very mentally abusive relationship. So the dad and daughter go swimming while mom stays in the hotel room. And up until now, it's just like, and now we see Naomi on the phone with her mom, and she's kind of explaining her situation. She ran away from her husband, and the mom's like, oh, that place out there's no place for a baby. You need to come back home and we'll just make things work. And, not really understanding what she's running away from. So up until this point, the whole movie has basically been that, that speed of learning the backstories of these two women. All of the sudden, very suddenly, after the daughter and dad get back from being in the pool, dad decides to take a nap or whatever, and that's when Naomi down in her room starts seizing up, wigging out. These big giant veins start popping up on her arms, and she's like getting really sick. She's like, can't talk hardly. That's when mom all of a sudden discovers a bruise. Val down here, she discovers a bruise on the daughter's back, and she's like, what happened? She's like, I fell down. So now it's like, okay, dad is also abusing the daughter, and she's like 8. She's 8 years old, little kid, and she's got this huge bruise on her back. So mom's like, okay, that's it, we are leaving. And I'm like, yes, good decisions, mom, here we go. So she's like, okay, little 8-year-old girl, I need you. I'm going to open the door. Daddy's asleep. We got to wait for daddy to start snoring, and then we can sneak out, which is awful. That's a terrible situation to be in. But she then tells her, she goes, okay, you are going to go by yourself down to the end of the hall and hide in the stairwell. And that's where you're going to stay till mommy comes and gets you. Seems like, but okay. So now Val is, she scooted her daughter out, and it's that really tense scene of her walking around the hotel room trying to quietly gather her belongings. And then all of a sudden, you notice dad has like the same little veins starting to pop up on his wrists and just on the outer linings of his face, and he's starting to make this like noise. Now I will say this too, the whole time the movie is kind of jumping back and forth between the main hallway and this woman, Naomi. It really did kind of start with her trying to crawl her way down the hallway, and that's really the first thing you're introduced to. So you're like, oh, what's going on? She's like got crazy veins all in her face, and her eyes are rolling back, and something obviously bad's happened here. So they get you at the beginning. You're like, okay, this is gonna pay off. So dad's looking pretty bad. Okay, his face is sinking into veins, and he's like, and then all of a sudden, he just wakes up, because Val is just standing over him, like, yeah, oh no, he looks bad, he's looking pretty bad here, and then he wakes up, because she's just been standing there, and he's like, what's happening, and he comes after her, obviously. She tries to run in the bathroom. He closes that door on her ankle, so now her ankle is mildly sprained. At this point, she sits in the bathroom with her back up against the door and will just occasionally ask if he's still outside. And I'm pretty sure she sits there for about 20 to 30 minutes. At no point did she make any attempt to stand up or to try to stand up or to try to move, which I don't know what kind of headspace she was in, but all the while, her 8-year-old daughter is still in the hallway, in the stairwell, just kind of hanging out all by herself while mayhem and chaos are breaking out in the hallway with all these different people now becoming infected with this virus. So it's been made aware that there's some kind of sickness, something is going around making people sick. Doesn't really say zombies. There's no actual official, like, oh, this was zombies. So I don't know if you could call it a zombie movie, but so mom finally hears dad Val in there. She finally hears him not really breathing anymore or making noise. So she opens the door and comes out, and he looks like fresh death. Like, skin is kind of peeling off his face. It's cracking. These veins are coming in. His eyes are just like milky white and bloodshot. And she gets this close to this guy and is like, I don't know what's happening to you. I don't know. He's like, I don't feel very good. I'm scared. Help me. And then she finally leaves. She finally leaves the room. Why do you get that close to somebody that looks like that? That looks actively like they have flesh-eating bacteria. Maybe don't get up in that person's face. Anywho. Now, right before Val makes it out of her room, while she's waiting on the husband to finally die or stop coming at her or whatever, he's useless. He's dead on the floor pretty much from this virus. This very there's a guy in the trailer that he's this very slender-faced man, and he's the one that was like, oh, I wish you could see this, it's beautiful. There is literally one shot of this guy in his hotel room with these 3 vials of green liquid with a biohazard sticker on it, and one of the vials is empty, indicating that he has released one of the vials in this hotel. Because there's also this big fancy gala that's going on downstairs that is a charity for doctors who are working to cure the sickness. Get down with it. So, geez, where are we at? Yes, so slender-faced man walks out, and he is like he sees Naomi, our friend who's trying to still pregnantly crawl her way down this hallway. Very heroic. He just gets right up in her face, and he's like, oh my God. He's like touching her veins. He's like, yes, he's on the phone with somebody. He's like, it doesn't start the same way with everyone. He's like, next, we will go to the hospitals, and then if necessary, the airports. So it never really said, because Val, at no point, she's not sick. It didn't affect her. So I'm still not 100% sure how this dude infected the hotel, because obviously it didn't affect everybody like Val and her daughter. So, which Val wouldn't know because she still has not made an attempt to find her. So Val's in the hallway. She's walking around barely, and she sees Naomi, and she's like, oh, Naomi. And Naomi's trying to crawl over this dude who is sitting up against the wall, and he's just been sitting here like beating his head against the wall going, Arr! So you get that real zombie vibe from it. All of a sudden, this gentleman reaches down, grabs Naomi's throat, and just rips a chunk of her throat out, and bleh, Naomi dies. Just for most of the movie, you've been seeing these flashes of this poor woman trying her hardest to just make it down this hallway and The second Val comes into the situation, she gets her throat ripped out. Now, what does Val do? She then sits down in the hallway for another 20-30 minutes while she waits for this guy who's beating his head up against the wall to stop doing that and just really mourn over this person she met 3 hours ago for 10 minutes. While your 8-year-old daughter is still all by herself hiding in a stairwell while you now see what has been going on outside your hotel room. Is she still alive? Is she okay? Who the fuck knows? Not Val. So after she sits and gathers herself from the person that died, that she met for 10 whole minutes and somehow formed this huge bond with her, she finally gets up. Now, does Val then go find her daughter? Surely, after like an hour of her just sitting around trying to, do something, surely she has found her daughter. Oh, no. She finds yet another thing to distract her. While she's shimmying down this hallway, she's like, I just got to get to my daughter. Oh, wait. There's a hotel room door that's just slightly cracked open. And she decides, you know what? I think I better go into this open hotel. I'm sure my daughter is fine. It was definitely a last-minute Expedia booking. She's just like, I'm sure my 8-year-old daughter's fine. I'm sure she's taking care of herself down there. It's totally cool. I'm going to slip in this room real quick and see what's going on. Take another chance at possibly getting murdered. Maybe I can help someone else, another complete stranger out before I help my daughter out. Maybe I can do that. So she goes into the hotel room and there's an emergency broadcast up on the TV. And it's like right at the tail end of it, and it's talking about if you or anyone you know are experiencing fits of rage or feelings of rage, please call medical personnel immediately. So not only does she watch the whole tail end of that, she's like, okay, well, I need to catch the beginning of it and watch it at least 3 more times. So she stands there in this hotel room now, blankly staring at the emergency message. And then a woman's voice, comes out of the bathroom. Hello? We're in here. Please answer us if you're out there. We need help. Who's in this bathroom? Oh, another guest, a woman and her daughter. And the lady's like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I'm ask Val, what are you doing out here? She's like, well, I'm looking for my daughter. She's like, wait, you don't know where she is? No. She's like, well, how old is she? Well, she's 8. She's like, well, you gotta go find her. You gotta go keep her safe. The stranger in the bathroom has to tell her, would you get out of here? I said we needed help, but now I need you to go and find your 8-year-old. Because what? Now, the whole time, we've been getting blips of poor 8-year-old daughter who is in the stairwell. This is where the movie really started to make me mad. As if I was not frustrated enough as is. So now, all of a sudden, a voice starts calling to the little girl from the bottom of the stairs, like down in the boiler room or some shit like that of this hotel. It starts calling to the little girl, and it's her dad. It's her dad's voice, who we know now is like dead back in the hotel room. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, hey, I'm down here. Hey, psst, it's your dad. Come on downstairs. And she's like, Daddy, is that you? And she's walking down the stairs. And then she's just like real tense. It's a real tense situation. She's getting down there. Then we see this like a cart, like a maid's cart almost, or a catering cart or something like that, starts rolling towards the little girl. And then you see Dad sitting behind the catering cart on the floor up against the wall, and he's fine. He's not all gross and sickly. And the little girl's like, Daddy, what are you doing down here? And I don't remember what happened, but then there's like a flash, and he's all of a sudden like dead guy dad again. And it's, when did it become a ghost movie? Now there's paranormal shit happening. You guys are just pulling names out of a fucking hat to make a movie. This is insanity at this point. There's never any explanation. Oh, you know what? There's another moment at some point where I think the woman is in the hotel room and she's talking to that lady, and then she just like blips and she's back in the hallway. So there's these few instances of these weird paranormal occurrences that randomly happen in this movie about a virus that this guy somehow poisoned only a number of people in this hotel. So, Val finally makes it to the stairwell. An hour into the fucking movie, she finally makes it to the stairwell where her daughter is, who's downstairs freaking out because she just saw the ghost spirit of her dead, sick father for whatever reason. And here in, I know I don't have kids, but I love my animals like kids. I love my pets like they're kids, and I don't let them out of my sight for more than a few minutes at a time. And if they had been away from me for any point, and I then told them to be somewhere and they weren't there, I would lose my mind. When I ran in and I didn't see them, I would just be screaming, "Ah, where are you? Ah!" Not Val. No, no, no. Val walks into the stairwell and she goes, "Katie, Katie, Katie, you here? Katie, can you hear me? Oh yeah, Katie. Oh yeah." And the little girl is like, "Mom?" She's waiting. "Yeah, come on up the stairs." Like, why can you not talk over, like, so the daughter, thankfully, is very resourceful. She's the real hero of this movie. She comes running back up the stairs, and Mom's like, "Okay, we're gonna go now." And I'm like, finally, she's got her daughter hipped up. She's like, "Okay, we can't go down the stairs." Why? I don't know why you can't go down the stairs. Little girl was just downstairs. I'm sure you can find an exit down there. Whatever. No, we need to go back down the hallway, find the elevators, and then plunge into a closed door into certain uncertainty. Sounds like a great plan. Who knows what'll happen when we open the doors down in the lobby? So they make it to the elevator. And of course, there's a zombie man that attacks Val as they start to get on the elevator, or a virus man, or whatever he is. They get attacked on the elevator, and she saves the day. It doesn't even, whatever, she somehow courageously saves the day. Good for Val. And then they get on the elevator. They're going down the elevator. The elevator doors open. Once they get on the elevator, it cuts to these very proper people getting ready for the gala. It's this like older couple, and he's like, "Oh, I married you, witty older man remark." And she's like, "Oh, you look so handsome, but also witty older lady remark." And it's very charming and feels very fake. And then they run into their other very rich friend, and they're all on their way to the gala, having a good time, when all of a sudden the elevator doors pry open. And there's the little girl and her mother just like crying and holding each other, sitting on the floor. And these people are fine. They have no idea what's going on. There's the big twist. Nobody else in the hotel knows what's going on. So, as helpful as this woman has been to every other stranger she has come in contact with, the people ask, "Are you okay, dear?" And she says, "Are you sick? Are you sick? Are you sick?" Which is a great way to get people to listen to you and not think that you are some insane woman. Anyway, she never one time mentions, "Hey, there's a whole thing going on upstairs at this hallway. I don't know if y'all knowed, because your gala's going on, but they got a whole kit and caboodle of shit going on up there. Might want to go check that out." No. They're not about that. She's just going to leave. She's like, "You guys got to get it. You have to leave. You all need to leave here now." And then she goes running out the door. So thanks, Val, for all your help. And then God, I don't know, she runs outside and they get in the car and then she has like one last vision. Finger would have been on the door, close button so fast. Oh yeah. It was the most uncomfortable, like, no one is going to listen to you. You are just running past people, asking them if they're sick and telling them they have to leave. That's all the information they've been given. But also, this emergency broadcast that has blocked out, it was going on for a minute. Nobody in their fancy gala, there wasn't any TVs on anywhere. Nobody else heard the emergency announcement in that hotel. Also, how did that dude only poison one hallway worth of the hotel? It never explained what that guy was doing, what he had. It's just left up to you to decide and interpretation. And so your plan to spread this virus, just so I can comprehend the grand terroristic scheme that these people have hatched. Step one, because we got 3 vials. We made that very clear. We have these 3. They're biohazard. They're green. And one of them was empty. So step 1 was use one of these vials to poison one hallway of a hotel. Step 2, we're going to go to the hospitals. I don't know how you infected people with this thing in the first place, because there was no common denominator as to what any of these, everybody did something different. Nobody came in contact with each, everybody was pretty much in their rooms. So I don't understand at what point did Naomi become, because Naomi talked to Val and then went in her bedroom and talked to her mama and then got sick. The dad went swimming and everything and then got sick. And then there's just other random people that are scattered through the hallway that all got sick except for Val and her daughter, except right at the very end, of course, the daughter has like a little cough and Val turns around and it's over. That's it. There's the movie. I just kept holding out like, okay, they're going to put a nice little bow on this. It's going to be worth the hour and a half I've put into it, and it's going to be worth. No, it's not. It was not worth it. This has easily been one of my least favorite movies that I've watched, but the cinematography was beautiful. The coloration was beautiful. The color grading, the lighting, sound, all of that was great. Practical effects, mwah. The plot, very original. The writing and the direction. I get them trying to take Val in this direction of being in this abusive relationship, kind of having the beaten down, just, you know, you never really gave her overcoming this moment. There wasn't like a good for her moment with Val. It was just, she just came off as frustrating and like, just, I get it. But would you not be so much more concerned about your 8-year-old child, especially after you walked outside and see half of the hallways laying out here eating each other? I don't know. It's just my opinion on it. You can totally give it a watch if you want to, but this is one movie I am recommending you stay away from. Just save the time. Keep the time to yourself. Your time is yours, and it's time you can't get back. So let me take the time for you. Oh, well, that was good. 30 minutes in, and we have completely bashed that movie in every way possible. Except, like I said, great production. The production team deserves so many awards, but you just really dropped the ball, Hall. You dropped the ball. If they went that way, you know, all in her head would have been cool. See, there's just so many different decorations, so many different directions. I feel like they could have taken it in, and they took it in none of them. So, okay, there's that. there's that movie that we wanted to talk about. Now let's talk about some events that we have coming up. This Saturday, actually. Let's just hop back over here on the shared screen. Boom. This Saturday, Knoxville's horror hosts are all coming together to bring you a little bit of local mystery science theater action. What's going to be happening here is myself, Hack, the wonderful Hack of Hack's Horror Show, has decided to bring us all together for what will hopefully be a recurring event. So this one will be at the Hall Cinema 7 this Saturday, January 22nd. It will feature myself, Wayne Wheeler, Nathan Hamilton, and of course my co-host on the Horrifying Creatures podcast, the horrifying Miss Helena Housewife. Now, we are going to be featuring this awesome film right here, WJHC AM, keeping good folks joyful until the end of days. From Big and Funky Productions. I love Big and Funky Productions. I love the people from Big and Funky, so I can't wait to see this new movie that they've put out, which is something even better. You're not just coming down here to watch a movie that's available on Tubi and that anybody can see. You got to come down here for a special one night only kind of deal so you can watch it with the directors, the producers, the writers, and us, and talking about it. You know, maybe we'll say nice things, maybe we won't. The night is still young and we'll find out. But also on deck, the amazing Eulogy Mortem from all the way out in Sevierville. She'll be making her debut with the Knoxville horror hosts out here, so very special guest, very excited to be working with them. And a little bit of special sneak peek of Tapeworm 2 from Slash and Chill Productions. So there's a whole thing, and I think like the first 30 people get in for free. So after that, it's like, I don't know, there's some money involved after that. But that just means you need to show up early. Camp out if you have to. It's going to be, thank you so much, David, for liking the stream. I appreciate that. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I think we're going to have a good time, and I would highly suggest everybody coming out to support and check it out. Now, let's talk about March, baby. So in March, I will be embarking onto the road to go to Mizzou, to the wonderful Trans World. Oh yeah, Trans World, baby, where the scares are bigger, the props are huge, and things that are bloody and screaming might actually be real. It just really, that place really makes dreams come true. Trans World. And this year, I'm not just going to Trans World, but I'm traveling there with Brainchild Creative to be their carnival barker into the midway of malice. That's right, the madman that turns the wheels of the carnival, that makes the games operate, that makes the fun and the whimsy happen, and that brings the ghouls out and everyone. So come to Missouri. Come to Missouri with me, March 17th through the 20th, and hang out at Trans World. I know Steve called me. He's like, I want to bring you to be you just for 4 days. I was like, I can be me, man. So I will be bringing all this energy, all the chaotic goblin energy that I build up throughout the year. I haven't been to a lot of live events. We did CreepyCon. We did, that was really the last big convention I got to do back in August was CreepyCon. So I'm jonesing for a little bit more. I got to get some action in my life. And March brings Trans World, which brings opportunity, which brings happiness to me. So definitely, if you get a chance to check out Brainchild Creative and all the awesome things that they do, I would highly suggest doing that. But other than that, I will be hitting the road with them in March to go to Trans World, and I'm very excited about that. Now I guess the moment a few of you have been waiting for. Let's give away our items from the Black Cat Curiosities and Outbreak on Main Haunted Attraction. We have this solo photo of Frank, the OG original kind of photo of him. We have this very adorable Bride and Frank picture, and a vintage copy of Ghost Manor. Bum, bum, bum. all this could have been yours if you entered to win. And if you did, we're about to find out right now who the winner of that was. I have names that I put into my hat. And I do it just like that. There. Yeah, na. Who you guys think's gonna be the winner? Down in here. Let's see. Our winner and recipient of the 2 Frank photos and the Ghost Manor comic is Angela Bragg. Hey, Angela, you are our big winner. Thank you so much for signing up for it, for tagging your friends as to the people that you would want to explore Ghost Manor with. You're our big winner. If you're watching the stream, you're going to get some extra goodies. But if you're not, that's still okay. We're still going to send you that giveaway, so I'll be getting in touch with you soon. Thanks for playing. And, check out tomorrow for another great giveaway. I'm not going to announce what it is yet, but make sure you're watching the page, keeping up with it, and I'm going to be doing giveaways every week. And we're going to keep doing these live streams every week. I'm really having a good time getting to kind of interact with people again. I went out couple of weeks ago and tried to do stand-up and realized it was the first time that I'd been in public in a few years. Like really in a public setting where because if you ever see me at an event, you'll kind of notice that I have this glazed over look in my eyes. Like I don't really know where I am at all times. And it's because most events for me look kind of like a blur because I'm moving so much for the 3 days. But when I do things like open mics and stuff like that, I get a chance to calm down and just kind of hang out with people and be around people and be a person again. And I have apparently forgotten how to do that. So these little interactions give me, a little experience. They give me a little practice for getting back into the real world and talking to people and not just being this weird, awkward mess. So thank you all for giving me the opportunity to basically sit here and run my mouth to nobody. I do it for you. So again, Angela Bragg, congratulations. You've got bragging rights for winning the big Creature Corner giveaway. We'll have another one coming up. Thank you so much to the Black Cat Curiosities and Outbreak on Main Haunted Attraction for sending this stuff over. Be sure you've checked them out on Facebook. You're giving them a like. I think they're even doing a My Bloody Valentine haunt. They're constantly trying to scare people. If they can figure out a way to open that haunted house up and scare some fools, they'll do it. So keep an eye out on their page if they are going to do it this year or if they're not. Either way, make sure you're watching out for them because they're a great company. They're a great group of people. And if you've never been to their shop out there in Oneida, what are you doing? It's like Captain Spaulding's shop in real life. There is murder and horror in the front and more murder and horror in the back. That's what Mo and Ella are selling, and I love it. So be sure you're checking out, like I said, Outbreak on Main and the Black Cat out there in Oneida. Thank you, as always, to Pedal Java for making our nights so tasty, for giving me the chaotic goblin energy that fuels me through these nights, that fuels me through events, and fuels me through my days. I appreciate you in so many ways. And that's that Miss American Pie. So, I think that's all we have to talk about tonight. We've done it another week. I'm proud of us, everybody. These are getting longer. They're getting better. They're getting smoother. I think I'm figuring things out. So, thanks for sticking in there with me, man, because it has been a long road traveled, and we're getting somewhere finally. So until the next time, be sure to keep those eyes peeled, my funky fiends, because there's always more coffee and more creepy ghouling on in the Creature Corner. Bye-bye. Skidoo-boo-boo-boo. This is the outro. This is the part where I say goodbye. Though you can't see me, just know that I'm there inside your heart, yeah. But it's kind of scary, 'cause I'm a scary guy. Good night, everybody.